driver's license. What we need are votes to talk about. What's happening with the phone?
We're back now with our wonderful, noted, award-winning guest, Ed Asner. And in this segment, we're going to talk about the Lou Grant Show. And as a muckraking show, it attacks social problems. And it's sort of like, I don't know, real-life newspapers used to do that. And you're sort of a muckraker yourself. You're sort of active in things. And
I love muck.
That's right.
Show me that muck.
Do you think the show helped to make a difference, seriously?
Well, I know it did. The best example I can give you is we had a show on dogfighting, and it helped change laws in 4 or 5 states.
This is the late 70s now, right?
Yeah. It didn't stop Michael Vick, but it did help in other states, and as long as we could show a positive result like that.
You know, Ford and Oscar Mayer, I read that Ford and Oscar Mayer threatened to pull out as sponsors one time when you were doing a show on abuses at nursing homes.
Yeah.
How did that resolve itself? I mean, you still did the show. And
there were people standing in line ready to take their place.
Yeah.
I believe they even threatened, they were signed on to pay for so many commercials, and they refused to do that. And then I believe the network said, you're still going to pay for it.
Yeah. It seems silly for them to want to do that at the time, but speaking of silliness, a lot of people misunderstood your involvement with trying to get medical aid and humanitarian aid to El Salvador. All of a sudden, and this is when you're doing Lou Grant, and the show is great in the ratings, and you're everybody's favorite actor, and almost overnight, the newspapers and the media get it wrong, and everybody thinks Ed Asner's a communist.
No.
And basically all you were doing is trying to get medical supplies to folks in El Salvador.
And trying to get, public opinion turned against this government for keeping the government in power, who sponsored death squads going around turning, what they eventually do is turn the peasants into communists.
Yeah.
Because they kept killing them because they didn't support the government that well.
Right.
It was an evil government with its death squads. They killed nuns, they killed priests. But the media control in this country let it be considered as a communist move on my part.
It's kind of stupid and we had some good journalists there, Sam Donaldson and some other people, but they all just got it wrong. I mean, they were using snippets of
I've seen Sam Donaldson full of crap before.
The question, though, is that you're doing this great hit show, everybody loves you as an actor, and yet when you embarked on this campaign to do humanitarian aid, did you have any inkling that that was going to start a firestorm? I'm cleaning that up. I could have used stronger language. Yeah. Or what?
Absolutely not. I got tired of sitting in the wings and not letting somebody complain about our government, keeping that government in power, not letting the people have their will. Our government trying to influence us. And we do it all the time.
And they still do.
I've sold out on changing this government no matter who's in power.
Well, when we go and invade the wrong country into Iraq, the same thing. Here's my question on this. It's like nothing changes. 30 years later from your crusade, if somebody criticized the Bush administration for going into Iraq, they said you're not patriotic.
Yeah, well,
so has anything changed?
No, and they can go to hell, and I'll be unpatriotic if that's what you want. Where are our people when they're given, when by hook or crook somehow the truth slips out? They realize it's a totally unprovoked war in Iraq.
Right.
And yet they accept the fact that it's justified that we're there. We're losing men. How many Iraqis have been killed since?
500,000, I think.
I'm sure it's closer to 1 million.
A lot of people say, wait a minute, Mr. Asner, you're great on screen, but we don't like actors
I know.
talking about politics.
I shouldn't be saying anything political, but my guts won't let me keep my mouth shut. So if I've paid the price already. My show got canceled, and I suffered a blacklist for a while. Maybe still do.
Well, great.
So I'm paying the price. So if I'm willing to do it, then I don't need to be pushed back.
Well, we're going to, in the next segment, we want to talk about your stand in fighting against racism. It's as current today and some of the things you were fighting against as you were in previous years. We'll talk about that in just a second.
I always like my file. You're the only one here today.